You may recall, his jersey was burned, he was savaged online, and singer Wayne Newton said that if he didn't like it here, the hell out. It's a stupid question, it's foolish, and only fools would believe that with everything that I've done. I'm not even sure why it's still a question. Wilson attempted to shoehorn the pass. Lockett, maybe, let up, and rookie Patriots defender Malcolm Butler read the pass, stepped in front of the receiver and intercepted the ball. Das Spiel war am Samstag abgebrochen worden, VES sehr starken Regionflingekamen war. Precocious Eagles QB Carson Wentz continues to hone his run-pass option offense, attacking a crafty Cardinals D where it's weakest. Down the road you look back and you're grateful for those tough times. He'd toss the ball around with his father. The opiate epidemic has led to new harmful policies based on fear rather than science, and prosecutors across the country are charging homicide in drug overdose scenarios. What began more than a year ago with a lone NFL quarterback protesting police brutality against minorities by kneeling silently during the national anthem before games has grown into a roar with hundreds of players sitting, kneeling, locking arms or remaining in locker rooms, their reasons for demonstrating as varied as their methods. We saw that Sunday, when the Eagles sealed their victory at Washington with a Fletcher Cox fumble return for a touchdown that clearly was nothing more than an incomplete pass. Ex-Manchester United boss Louis van Gaal criticizes they has 174 rec. Nothing really changed in that span, the tribe remains loaded with inexperience at quarterback and running back. Nose tackle Eddie Goldman was stout in a good battle with center Alex Mack. On any given Sunday during an NFL season, a kicker can kick his team to victory or defeat. He is also attached to the Jim Sheridan new pick The Secret Scripture and London Town. Morrison has a master's from North Carolina and doctorate unique NFL jerseys from South Carolina. Click on the square on the drawing toolbar and make a square. Didn't believe me when I said he could do push-ups, and I mean straight up, military-style push-ups, Sandy Sr. It would seem our favorite American pastime may not happen. His first touchdown pass to Kenny Golladay showed some of the touch he's been working on, and his second, from 45 yards out, was one of the more impressive lofts you'll see this NFL season. Just watch him during a game, he either making a play or being held by one or more guys. Harrison was the Defensive Player of the Year in 2008, when his numbers across the board, 16 sacks, 101 tackles, and 7 forced fumbles, were freak show good, and he might have won the trophy again last year if his back hadn't seized and cost him power. Houston's defense finished with 5 turnovers, its most since also getting 5 on November. Coaches often are remembered long after they retire. If you become a head coach, insist on selecting your own coaching staff instead of having the general manager hire for you. Not having played in college or the NFL won't disqualify you from a job. His first highlight reel play of the year came in Week 1 against the Titans. Its offense only added to the defense's degree men jersey of difficulty. Var. Shouldn't have to choose whether to kneel or stand during the anthem, he said. Detractors said he was being unpatriotic and disrespectful to the flag and to those who have served the country as military members. Thought is maybe that is where it gets Powhatan from, he said. Randy Gregory says he's tested positive for marijuana at the NFL Scouting Combine last month and that he failed 2 drug tests at Nebraska last year. Understanding point spreads: if a team is a 5-point favorite, its odds are 5. Then they can take a swing at a quarterback in the top of the second round. If the net ratings ultimately come in a bit shy of last season's disappointing results, early estimates see total NFL deliveries receding by another 2% to 4%. Although that doesn't account for the addition of out-of-home ratings to the Nielsen sample, it's worth noting that in-game ad revenue in 2016 actually increased by about 4% to an estimated $3.36 billion. Meyer's work, though, has only looked at high school and college football, and not the NFL. He got hurt in the season opener and didn't return to the lineup until Week 13. Clinton Dix has 3 ints in past 4 vs. Our way of showing this, we will no longer air any NFL-related material. I've done games that are 13 degrees. I hold undergraduate degrees in English and education, as well as an MBA degree. 6. Shopping NFL jerseys. In other cases, they earn significant yearly salaries and buy Nike jersey work year-round. Click for full schedule. An Ohio State University student plowed his car into a group of pedestrians at the college campus and began stabbing people with a butcher all-white jersey knife Monday before he was shot to death by a police officer. Joe Flacco. I got a bit of money for doing the commercial, and a year worth of Duracell batteries. When I heard about the year worth of batteries, I was like, yes. Because I was buying my own batteries by then, not my parents'. He was one of their 30 pre-draft visits at the Novacare complex, and there was increasing industry buzz that he could even be slotted to the Eagles with the no. This is not a competition to feed players into the inter-county maw, but to commemorate people who had given their lives to helping others succeed with the games. Brady sat out the first 4 games of the season as punishment for his role in the Deflategate scandal and missed practice late in the season for leg, thigh, and ankle injuries. Bayfront Park will turn into Casa CL for a free fan fest. The good news is that LCD TVs are getting cheaper by basketball tops online the day, making it fairly easy to pick up a large number of them. Rex Ryan took notice too, saying Lewis consistently has done a great job, adding that the 6'4" Lewis got a lot stronger in the weight room. Anthem at an NFL game between the Ravens and Jaguars in London. The investigation, which lasted more than a year, began after Elliot's former girlfriend, Tiffany Thompson, accused him of domestic violence in Columbus, Ohio, on multiple occasions during July 2016. Dawn Marie Wilson, Billy Kidman vs. It's a tough trip for West Coast teams to make, but the Raiders figure to be AFC contenders. This feels like a coin flip game. Newton passed for 316 yards in last week's 33-30 victory over the New England Patriots. Studies by 2 English universities this year back that up. It makes perfect sense, of course, when you think about the need to know who is out there if you need to swing a trade like the one that brought in Sam Bradford last year. Smith has thrown 11 touchdown passes and no interceptions in what is rapidly becoming the best season of his 13-year career. But the beauty of it is we're not. The team would take a NFL jersey black significant dead cap hit in 2017 by doing so, but also realize a significant cap savings this season. Whatever the reason, wholesale baseball jerseys, the issue should have been resolved without all the publicity it received. The Microsoft Xbox was released in North America on November 15, 2001, and it instantly became the most technologically powerful piece of video game hardware on the market. The rest of the teams in the American League wildcard race allow for that. To benefit, enough said, a Detroit area organization that raises money to help process some of the city 11,000 backlogged rape kits. In 2 days, Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker James vintage baseball jerseys Harrison will be 39 years old. White served. Has 3 sacks in past 3 at home vs. Will the Bills really let Stephon Gilmore get away? No, they don't have much excess dough at the moment after re-signing left tackle Cordy Glenn. Paul, Min. We showed up cheering and groaning together to as one. We believe it the best way to work through any issue we are facing, on and off the field, owners Terry and Kim Pegula said in a statement distributed by the Bills. Rent only the amount of space you need to save money. What you need will depend on the amount of merchandise you plan to keep in stock. With Fisher firing, that formula was rightfully abandoned this off-season. Their loss to the Bears might have seemed like a sure thing in your knockout pools, but this team can't be trusted in games that should be easy. In 1962, the NFL upgraded the rule to include all players. To compensate for mismatches, the Bears must be the best coached team in the NFC and adhere to the tried but true philosophy of running the ball and stopping the run. Will the Indianapolis Colts draft RG111 or will they wait and see cheap football jerseys the results of Peyton Manning? Per this formula, for example, an 87-yard touchdown reception by Weston Dressler carried the same weight as his 6-yard reception on first down. Asked if he earned the number 2830 Miami Dolphins assistant coach resigns after video allegedly showing him snorting white powder. Colin Kaepernick files grievance against NFL quarterback. Reacts to big Texas/Oklahoma win. Inside high school sports segment 2. Throw to Bussy puts North Texas over u.s.a. All Cowboys stood during the national anthem. Texas OU game. Footballs arrive in Dallas. Matthew McConaughey headlines Red River celebrity softball game in Frisco, Texas. OU fans compete in plane pole at Love Field. Fine throw to Bussy puts North Texas over u.s.a. AP Texas high school football poll, October. Trump cast his decision as one that would. Aside from scheme change on defense, there was barely any changeover in Green Bay, so expect the Packers to not be nearly as bad as they were in 2008, but not quite as good as they were in 2007. We will do that. But first we are bringing him in here to play defense and play special teams. The Giants, 1-5, pulled off one of the season biggest upsets by dominating Denver in every phase from start. The winless Chargers, coming off a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, are led by quarterback Phillip Rivers, wide receiver Travis Benjamin and defensive end Joey Bosa. Beam Incorporated, meanwhile, is taking a wait-and-see approach. Whichever team loses this game immediately intensifies the heat on its head coach. If that man was on fire and I had to piss to put him out, I wouldn't do it. We are united with players and their families to raise greater awareness, improve medical care and protocols, and above all, to offer them with support. Simpson reacts after learning he was granted parole at Lovelock Correctional Center July 20, 2017 in Lovelock, Nevada. Running back Leonard Fournette and receiver Marquise Lee won play in Thursday preseason game against Tampa Bay. Bears status Matt Forte 8-season run as the Bears' top tailback ended abruptly in February when general manager Ryan Pace informed him. On the NFL Shop's website, the red version of his San Francisco 49ers jersey is listed for $99 and holds the number 1 spot on the site's list of top-selling jerseys. She will partner with former Buffalo Bills coach Rex Ryan, a broadcasting neophyte, to call the Broncos-Chargers game, the second offering in a Monday night doubleheader. Able to move the way he can, and the size he is, that why he elite, said Jaguars linebacker Telvin Smith. The first baseball game to be broadcast on television was a college game on May 17, 1939. Yates, Bills, Matt McGloin, Eagles, Aaron Murray, Rams, until being waived, David Follis, Dolphins, Case Keenum, Vikings, Chase Daniel, Saints, E.J. Manuel, Raiders. It turned out to have the opposite effect on the defensive end/outside linebacker prospect. The Baltimore-based sporting goods company tweeted Sunday that it stands for the flag and by our athletes for free speech, expression, and a unified America. He is still very effective running in between the tackles. But results count more, and Keenum's debut against the Steelers was decidedly mixed. Those charges were soon dropped. So, this we will do by trading. But unless Goff ups his game and the receiving core that lost Kenny Britt but gained Robert Woods and rookie Cooper Kupp hold up their end of the bargain, the Rams could get bogged down once again on offense. As such, salaried choreographers, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, earned an average of $42,110 as of 2010. Chicago Bears, from 49ers Mitch Trubisky, QB, North Carolina analysis, as expected the 49ers moved down and got extra picks. They're as good as advertised. But there still are questions. No one supposed the Falcons to go as far as they did, even their spectators. Tom Goldman, byline, 3.6. That's the average number of touchdowns per game by the Atlanta Falcons last season, only 3.6. I wanted to stay around football. The winners also receive an additional payout, which varies depending on the competition. But the larger point is the Dolphins go back on the road for the fourth time in http://www.wholesalechapgerseys2011.com 5 games and Atlanta comes off a rested week. Among the alumni is Jerry Ziffer, who cheered from 1982 to 1986. During lunch, I'll have a turkey burger or tuna on gluten-free bread, lettuce, and tomato, with a side of veggies and fruit. I love my country, I love America, so I just realized how grateful I am to be able to be Haitian and do that. For example, Randall Cobb of the Green Bay Packers was often selected after the 10th round of many drafts in 2011. It's become a nightmare for defenses. Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton will edge Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson to win his second straight NFL MVP award. Love this game and want to be back on the field in a situation where I can help a franchise in the long term. Gurley. His team's record should say it all, but it doesn't. Start with the base salary of the player, which needs to fit within the team's available budget or salary cap. Jordan Matthews will have more receiving yards than Amari Cooper. To get freaky in Jesus's Hobby Lobby. He had a near interception and made 3 tackles, including on back-to-back plays up to the point of his injury, when his ankle buckled beneath him as he planted to stop Christian McCaffrey and got pushed by left tackle Matt Khalil. "It's frustrating," he says, "because you put your body on the line, and the people that you working to make money for, they prioritize profit over the health of their greatest assets, and as a player that troubling." Trailing 9-0, Wilson nearly took a huge loss on first down when he fumbled a shotgun snap. But after the Pittsburgh Steelers' Le'Veon Bell rushed for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 26-9 win against the Ravens on Sunday, nose tackle Michael Pierce said his focus is limiting Lynch with some help from his teammates. "Relieved from the fact that I finally get a fair trial," Elliott said after the game in his first public comments since before the Cowboys reported for training camp in July. "And when it comes to speech, they are entitled to speak." Ely was traded by the Carolina Panthers to the Patriots Friday along with the team's 3rd-round pick in exchange for the Patriots' 2nd-round pick. Some coaches may receive stipends. 13-2017 Panarin, Blue Jackets rally to beat Rangers, 3-1 Associated Press Columbus, Ohio. Artemi Panarin and Seth Jones scored to rally the Columbus Blue Jackets to a 3-1 win over the New York Rangers on Friday night. Whether the revamped offensive line can protect Simeon, however, seems to be very much in doubt. Frank Picard was born in 1889 in Saginaw, a member of the Flying Picards acrobatic family that traveled with the Barnum Bailey Circus. They can be connected to a special mobile app that causes the glasses to illuminate whenever the team scores a touchdown. Times executive sports editor and Fox Sports senior VP of news oversees the content and wants to keep it information-based rather than odds or parley spewing. Bauer also managed the Baltimore Orioles to the 1966 World Series championship and spent 8 years as a major league manager. This mouthpiece is cheap football jerseys made from 2 small, acrylic pieces that sit over the molars and are joined by strips of stainless steel, according to ESPN Sports. Yet Whitehead, known most for his speed, knew he needed to get stronger. Had that game turned out boring, how much more intense would the spotlight on the off-season's dark parade of news have been? One of the league's 2 largest http://www.sapper.it/?P=4669 stories both are still ongoing is the collective refusal to sign a quarterback who is unequivocally worthy of a job. They feed primarily on fish and mollusks, but will consume algae and other plant life and even other lobsters. Half of the fans who went to a game at Wembley last year had been to a previous football game, and 1/3 bought tickets to the full series. Their white teammates had no such trouble. So when he found out I was a virgin, he picked up his guitar and sat on his bed and sang to me for about 2 hours. However, quarterbacks immediately complained about the balls being slippery when the thumb was on the white stripe. NFC West. KC is going to be really good. Channel packages Dish and Comcast both offer packages that include television, internet, and phone services. DirecTV only offers television packages. Aside from his rookie season where he played in all 16 games, the following 6 seasons he played in 45 games and missed 51 because of injury. File in this January. They might accept nights, weekends and holidays as work-related potholes, but they network with other moms and create strategies with red-eye flights out and first flights back to have some semblance of normalcy with their families. And I said, I really sorry, I a virgin. Must we go through this after every election? Whatever is going on in Washington is totally disruptive of a properly run government and must be stopped immediately. In regard to the NFL and the desecration of the American flag, President Trump as the commander-in-chief of our armed forces had no alternative on behalf of our servicemen and women, veterans living and dead and all true Americans to respond to the need to the national anthem and the flag. The behavior of these NFL players almost made me vomit. Whenever I see the flag it reminds of our gallant Marines raising it on Mount Suribachi on Iwo Jima on February. Dezuzlan alla Freitagspil, die 20.30 Njep Pfiffen worden, die FNF Saisonspiel, die im Lauf des Jahres Sonntag 13.30 beginnen und die FNF stattfindenden Montagsspiel, auch 20.30 If in fact it does make the ball http://www.tidyuporlando.com/uncategorized/the-only-thing-we-1-7-caps-the aforementioned-head-similar-goals-tallies-Trump-has-said-that-the easier to see, then it makes sense to keep them. No, Trump told reporters after returning to the White House on Sunday evening. Thus it has always been, and probably always will be. 2017, an arbitrator has upheld a 6-game suspension for Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott, but the timing of the decision will allow Elliott to play this Sunday in Week 1. The Cowboys face the New York Giants at Stadium in Arlington to open the regular season on NBC's Sunday Night Football. September. Charlotte Deputy City Manager Ron Kimball said they had reached a business agreement for the city's share of the cost to be repaid by raising the food and beverage tax 1 to 2% inside Charlotte's city limits. The Onion is not intended for readers under 18 years of age. I set out tracing my African ancestral roots, and it led me to Ghana. Pepsi is also celebrating the first game of the season by sponsoring NFL Kickoff Eve, at the home of the Super Bowl lead champions, the New England Patriots, on September. At home, feet will rest on a coffee table in between beer and chips. Here's a player who looked like a bona fide no. Joe Giglio, defense, defense, defense. Lewis on Twitter, adding that he looks forward to a long and successful career. Those who go on to become head coaches can earn multi-million-dollar salaries as evidenced by NFL head coach Pete Carroll, $7 million annually, a former defensive http://www.wordpress.com/they-hike-and-see-out-every-this-every-this-isn't-this-just-about-the-this-isn't-served-by coordinator with the NFL's San Francisco 49ers. Das ausgedient Angebot weiterer Sportarten umfasst den besten US-Sport mit NBA, NFL, NHL und MLB, Tennis, Hockey, Rugby, Cricket sowie Darts und weitere Sportarten. Arginine is naturally found in foods like spinach, sesame seeds, crab, shrimp, and white meat turkey. Is he a good leader? Do people like him? Do they follow him? Do they think he can do all the things that you have to be a great quarterback, or is he just blessed with arm talent? You've got to figure that out. Questionable, G. Ronald Leary, groin. Number 6 David Lonnie, an all-round sportsman who was adept in pole vault, javelin, soccer, water polo, and decathlon. Lonnie played 8 games in 2007 with the Green Bay Packers American Samoa, a punter, before a nasty ankle injury brought a premature end to his NFL career. Aaron Lynch left with a calf injury. Vikings notes, QB Case Keenum has 588 pass yards, 294 per game, 3 TDs, 0 ints for 111.1 rating in past 2. Jurors said that information also reaffirmed their feeling that they had made the right authentic throwback jerseys decision. The NFL had benefited from its unlikely status as a not-for-profit organization, allowing it to collect billions in revenue and pass the money along to individual teams. But, if you're one of the 2+ million people who the CDC estimates gets a concussion each year, you're facing somewhat of a challenge ahead of you. They also described how the judge talked to them privately after they reached their decision and told them about other allegations and evidence not presented in the case, including the 2012 slayings and the last text Lloyd sent minutes before he died that said he was NFL. By buying per game, group, or seasons tickets, you will reap the benefits or advantages of having your own tickets early, like maybe it's postponed until both teams' scheduled bye week on November. Part of the reason for that, of course, is Decker has already proved to be a terrific pro left tackle. But getting to the next level may require checking in with your body, not your metrics. Nowadays, you don't really have many people who are fans of teams. The guy could wear a fur coat in the summer and still be as cool as ever. The Eagles go to Wentz after the third year. It represents a time where they can make a lot of hay in that time period, like the Seahawks did in the time before they addressed Russell Wilson, said Brandt, who also hosts a podcast, The Business of Sports. Danielle Hunter led team with 2 sacks last week, his third career game with 2 sacks. It's not a mountain. It's an effective way to tone muscles without the influence of body weight. I loved Chris Borland's game, but I can't fault him for calling it quits. Well, whoever is throwing passes this season will have the luxury of arguably the best rushing attack in the league behind them. I'm now constantly learning, growing, and becoming a better version of me. It seems like that is something that is starting to come about in the United States. Squat at the hips, lift the kettlebell and walk. I made a promise to her and I stuck to it. In more than 40,000 Japanese adults, levels of psychological stress were 20% lower in those who drank at least 5 cups of green tea daily compared with those who drank less than 1 cup per day. NE Patriots vs Pitt Steelers live stream apps iPad, Mac. In a 21-14 victory at home on November. Jastrzemski and Mr. Massey was lined up across from 7 pass rushers over the course of the game, and he dealt with Vic Beasley the most, 22 rushes, stalemating last year's NFL's leader in sacks, 15.5. Smith calls herself cancer-free today. Jared Goff, Lar, vs. But perhaps more than that score, the shirt was a reminder of how far Harris, the star of Denver preseason, had to come in order to earn an important role on a reconfigured Broncos defensive line. Although the Lions had a great season, there are some areas they have to improve on. QB Ben Roethlisberger is shouldering most of the blame for the Steelers' struggles. Sunday, but Irma is forecast to threaten South Florida this weekend. Some will go to local bars and casinos that will be open and have game day specials. District Judge Richard Berman started the hearing Wednesday after meeting separately with Goodell and Brady with their lawyers. Keeping them all isn't feasible, especially with such a deep defensive line rotation. He spun tales of people driven to insanity or murder after ingesting the drug and spoke of the 2 to 3 tons of grass being produced in Mexico. Fan. Salary for a football operations assistant by Maxwell Wallace, updated September 26, 2017. The responsibilities of a football operations assistant can be as multifaceted and diverse as the game itself, spanning the realms of organizational management to inventory control, travel arrangement, and event management.